Stop chasing perfect grind, perfect bevel, or perfect angle. They're not as important. Stay tuned. In this video I want to point out several key stuff that I'm looking for when I'm sharpening my ball gouges, and I'm not looking for perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect angle every single time, but I do know what I'm looking for and I know how it will behave, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit more in depth in this video. Starting out, and even if you're a little bit more experienced turner, the perfect grind or the perfect bevel or consistent bevel from each time doesn't have to yield perfect results. Some of the things like consistent bevel angles can help you out getting the muscle memory into your body, into your hands, because you're doing the same motion for the same cuts pretty much all the time. But I don't worry too much about that. Again, I can see and feel what the tool will perform on the lathe itself, and I can adapt slightly. And please don't fall into a rabbit hole of one angle for everything or one grind for everything. So in my opinion, that doesn't exist. I have several different grinds on several gouges for the specific purpose, and angles also change for the specific purpose or task. So you can adapt, but what I would recommend is learning all this stuff so you know how to adapt if you have a stubborn grain or a twisted grain changing weird directions or something like that, so you can adapt on the fly and you actually know what to do, or at least try to do it before you go, let's say, to 80 grit sandpaper. Now, big hello goes to Don Morgan, who is a fellow wood turner who loves to watch my videos. Unfortunately, Don is going through some rough bits in his life regarding health issues, and I know the words can't help out too much, but this is from the bottom of my heart, Don. I wish you a fast and proper recovery, and I know that you love turning, so I wish you a fast comeback on the lathe. Keep your chin up, stay strong, and you have a great family beside you, and this will be shortly behind you, I'm sure. So thank you for watching my videos in this time, and hopefully you're going to enjoy the rest of the video. It's quite typical how my gouges usually look. So you can see multifacets, doesn't look perfect, maybe has a few burnt edges, mostly because if I'm sharpening on 80 grit wheel here, it can burn edge a little bit faster than CBN wheel. But I'm going to do it or make it worse on purpose and show you that it will perform as it should on the lathe. But first I need to true up the wheel here. This is 80 grit wheel. Now I don't have any platform on it. I will have one in the future, hopefully, but not at this point. Now the bevel angle is okay for this. It's around 40 degrees, between 40 and 45. You know what, maybe I should ruin it first, like so. And I'll show you what I'm looking for in a gouge. So this is how it looks at the moment, and I'm going to correct it real quick. Now most of the time I would sharpen on my hand like this as a steady rest, but for the customers I use platform just for the consistency and the correct bevel angle, just so I don't have to think about that. Especially when I'm, let's say, sharpening 100 ball gouges. So the way I'm doing this is for the right wing. From the center, I just rotated the gouge in my right hand. And when I'm getting towards the back of the wing, I'm going to raise it up a little bit and go down. I'll still have a lot to remove, so And when I'm doing the left side, I'm doing the same about the halfway point of the wing, so like so. So just rotate it to the left in your right hand and push it up the wheel. And back down and rotate it back. So this is the progress so far. A little bit longer bevel at this stage, and you can see I still have flat areas here around the nose. Let the camera focus a little bit better. So here and here I still have flat areas that needs to be addressed. Now, how I know that this will actually perform as it should? Now, what I'm looking for in a gouge is, first of all, I want to have a nice acute angle here where the wings are. So this area here and here beneath the point of the gouge, I don't want to see too much of the bevel. So you can see when I place it upside down like this, there is only a little bit of visible here and at the very tip on the right wing. The right wing is shorter, the left wing is longer. You can see a nice full curve, and what I like to have on my gouges is nice broad nose. That will introduce a little bit more shearing action on the tip. That works again for me. It may be a little bit more difficult to start the cut, but again it will perform nicely. Now the bevel angle is a little less than 40 degrees, but again it won't matter too much, as you'll see now at the lathe. One more time to go through some of the things that I'm looking for in a properly sharpened gouge. So I'm looking for nice curve. Now you may have a preference of straight wings, that's okay. I like to have nice curve to it. I think it gives a little bit more control and it's not so grabby, again, for me. Nice broad nose, and you can see again nice curve on the short wing here, or the right wing. I'm not too much worried about burned top edge. Again, this is M42 steel, and this little bit of a burned edge doesn't affect it at all unless you go dip it into water when it's super hot. So don't do that. Again, I just leave it on a cast iron to cool it off, and it only takes a few minutes. After, I'm going to show you as well how I sharpen on a platform, and you're going to see the comparison. It will do the same job, it only will be looking a little bit prettier, let's say. So let's see how it performs on this piece of maple. Just going to do a few cuts. Uh, 1300 RPM. Close the flute facing around 10 o'clock. So that's only a few cuts. Let's drop diameter. Like so. One more heavy roughing cut. And maybe one push cut. So that's nice and smooth. Everything is as it should be. Again, I can predict what it's going to do because of some of those things that I point out. So I don't have any major dips in the curve. I like to have nice continuous curve. no flat areas or anything like that. Again, that's just my preferences. So now I'll show you the platform. Now platform here is set to roughly 40 degrees, give or take. I'll check it after I'm getting the sort of a primary bevel here done. The best way I find using the platform is just keep it, first of all, I hold it here near the ferrule or even slightly above it. And a lot of the pressure is here on the platform for the tool not to lift up or down. And just keep a nice pressure. First on the tip, I like to go and swing just a little bit to the left and right and rotate it a little bit. Now for the wings, I like to have it just so I don't see the bottom of the flute, so close it that far and rock it back and forth and blending to the bottom. And on the platform, to get this asymmetric grind with a nice full curve on the wings, you have to move relatively fast. If you hold too long on the one spot, you'll get a flat or flatter curve, much like on a 40-40 grind, let's say. Do the right wing. Hopefully I'm not blocking the camera. And this is now asymmetric grind that customers will get when they order, let's say, ball gouge from me. So you can see pretty much single facet, a little bit more facets or different kind of angles here, but I would usually go on 180 grit for the last pass, and most of these will be gone. It will be nice, smooth, single facet all the way around. But what's more importantly is that the tool is sharp. So let's see how sharp it is, or is it sharp enough for what we do on the lathe. Yeah, I would say sharp enough. Again, nicely polished outside, a little blemish here where I stop the cut and readjust the tool rest, but you can see majority is nice and clean. Now I took it back to the grinder and sharpened it to 180 grit, and hopefully this sort of a shadow play, you can really see how the curve flows from one wing down to the nose and then back up here. So it's a constant curve. Again, this will work beautifully no matter how you use it. And as you can see here, I took over ½ an inch thickness and straight to a nice clean surface here little blemish, but you can see the rest of it is really nice. Now don't get hung up on the perfection every single time that you're using your tool. So sometimes I would make a mistake sharpening and I would just use that tool. I would not re-grind it or anything like that. Eventually with sharpening I will get rid of any blemishes or anything like that. But if I follow these simple things, have that constant curve, don't have major dips or valleys, beaks or anything like that. Again, I like to have a little bit more of a acute angle here on the bevel on the side of the wings, so it's a little bit sharper edge, maybe a bit more grabbier, but if you know how to control the gouge, it won't bite you, let's say. So these are the preferences I like. Again, all these grinds out there, angles and everything have their purpose, so there isn't just one grind, one gouge to use in every single project. You can always adapt, especially if you don't use scrapers. If you just like cutting the timber, having multiple gouges with multiple angles and grinds can very help you out on that journey, let's say. So again, hopefully this video will help you out, and see you in the next one.